I was joking! Are you serious? Oh shit. This is where it came from.
One is always here for you.
Hey, since I keep this channel ad-free, please consider subscribing to my other channel that I'll be moving to in the future. You can also donate to me on Ko-Fi or watch me live on Twitch and check out my live channel. So come follow and subscribe to me there. Links are down in the description. Thank you. Enjoy the video. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact reaction playthrough. This one being the 4.4 updates Xianyun story quest. Our good old tattletale adepti crane that loves to share stories about baby Ganyu. Although baby Ganyu is very adorable. Can't exactly think of a pole ritual to do since I don't have Ganyu or Shenhe. We're gonna have to work extra hard this one with RNG. You go Zhongli, work those old man bones. This is elderly. Look, Zhongli looks good for an elderly, alright? 21 pity, no guarantee. Same as usual, I just want one copy because she's not a DPS. Okay, first end pull. Okay. Maybe I want a gaming as well, you know, just so I get a free wish. I said gaming. Ugh. A weapon pull? I already have C6 Farazan. No gaming? Come on. I'm a gamer. I should own gaming. Bring her early. Really? Oh shit, okay, another Farazan. I mean, I'm Chinese in the sense of Tevat. I'm technically a Liyue. The power of the Adepti. Fuck me. They're not even giving me a gaming. Where's my gaming? Oh, is there no gaming? No gaming. I know 4-star rates are bad, but like, holy shit. Come on. There's no. There we go. Okay. Please, please.
What? A cursory change in one's appearance and you barely recognize me.
Huh?
Then let one dispel any doubt. One is in all things unconstrained and unabashed, free to live as one pleases, go where one desires, and journey with whomsoever one wishes. Nevertheless, in light of one's considerable renown, please call me Xianyun in public.
Okay, first of all, hell yes. But they have lines for the character now? And
boss,
gaming.
The name's Gaming. I'm a guard from the communications office. So, all this needs shipping, right? No. You grab a seat and have some tea. I'll get these packed for you, no
so
problem.
I think they're playing their like...
It'll take me a minute, then we can get the delivery scheduled.
So I think that...
And if you ever want to book a wushu dance, me and my crew are available in a heartbeat. The
So
show's called the Mighty Mythical Beasts, and I'm the...
Story quests. Right away. Oh, wow. This is Chaoying Village. Whoa. Oh, that looks really nice. The whole atmosphere and scenery. Dude, this can be a wallpaper. Did you see this? My god, they exist. What the fuck? There's goats in Genshin now? Who's the goat? If there's anything, they always nail the atmosphere every single time, okay? Like, you would just look at these locations and you would wish you were there. Experience it for yourself. You know what I mean? Xianyun story quests. 1,000 moonlit miles. What a title. Gru's Serena Chapter Act 1. Leisurely Chatter. Go to Mount Aocang. Paimon has a sudden yearning for quirky stories told by Cloud Retainer. Go to Mount Aocang and see this adeptus, with whom you're quite familiar. Except this time, it's in her human form. Is she there as the bird or nope?
Here we are, right outside our place.
What's the occasion? Why are you a human?
Offering traveler. Did something catch your eye?
Wow, it's... Don't think we've seen her before.
Whoa, what a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
Do you not see the color palette? It seems like she could also be a powerful adeptus, or a Disney princess because there's a ton of animals around her.
You're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country.
I'm pretty sure she can hear me. She's admiring a statue of herself. Oh, shit. Yeah?
Paimon is Paimon! And this is the Traveler. Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, Madam Adeptus?
You two...
Did I disturb you? Sorry.
What is this tomfoolery? Has the shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
You never told me you had a human form.
You're...
Cloud Retainer, yes. Same person.
You're the illuminated bird?
But
you
you look so hot.
human.
What?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion,
Look
one merely
here.
had no reason to
Huh.
indulge such inclinations before.
I'm gonna guess that vision's a fake.
So, you're indulging now because?
One has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you suddenly appeared on the top of a roof without any warning.
It feels like Cloud Retainer has her reasons, but doesn't want to discuss them too openly. Cloud Retainer said that she's going to visit some of her disciples.
So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been a while since we last saw them. Maybe we can come too.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
Shenhe does say you get lonely if no one ever comes to visit you.
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor.
Oh,
Ganyu is likely still working at Yue High Pavilion, so that shall be our first stop.
right, she has a house in like Liyue Harbor now.
Not quite yet.
1,000 moonlit miles.
Ganyu has been quite busy with work as of late. One can count on one talon the number of times she returns to Mount Aocang each year.
When is she
Shenhe
not busy
has
with
also
work?
secured employment recently.
Oh.
In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she shall have no need to return for the foreseeable future.
Damn.
Did they think one was so easily mollified? One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
I think she's just lonely. An elegantly assembled mysterious mechanism. For some reason, it is hard to keep your eyes off it. It appears to be one of Cloud Retainer's new inventions, but it's hard to tell what else it could be used for. Music, right? Mom misses her kids. Yeah, that's what I think. Check on their living conditions? Yeah, maybe, but it's more like 70% she feels lonely. The kids are moving on with their lives. The old crane doesn't know what to do.
We're almost at Yue High Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this?
Both of them are her disciples.
Wait, where did she go?
She didn't come with us.
Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Don't say that out loud.
One shall stay
yeah.
here. You two can go and meet with her. If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time.
She can still see you from here, though.
Again, do not mention one's presence here.
I got it.
Alright then, we'll just pass on your regards and...
Cloud Retainer?
Oh, fuck. Oh, well. That lasted a total of 30 seconds. You aren't exactly even hidden from view.
I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit?
Oh, boy.
I believe my schedule today is quite full.
Oh.
Perhaps I could move some work to later in the evening.
Oh, that's exactly what she wanted to stop her from doing.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings! What brings
Hey,
you here today?
Ganyu.
And Cloud Retainer, too! It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
Yeah, there's no way they haven't seen her in this form.
You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One is simply a mere mortal passerby.
Very convincing.
Seems she's not buying it.
No shit.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
I'm not exactly used to the mighty cloud retainer acting like this, if I'm gonna be honest. Ganyu looks totally bewildered. She's thinking, why wouldn't I recognize you? I used to see you every day. How bad do you think my memory is? That's what I said.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
An apt observation.
Yeah.
One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would only be fitting to pay you a visit while in the area.
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important... Cloud Retainer's right! We've still got something super important to do, so...
We're not very good at this. Paimon's not good at making excuses.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw each other.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today.
Please don't stay up later. I don't know how expensive it is to import caffeine from Fontaine to Liyue. But still, I don't think Ganyu's like a coffee drinker.
One must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body.
Listen to your sensei.
It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now. Respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when you suffered from nightmares.
Here we go. I feel like I need to put a counter now. I mean, look at Ganyu. God, you're already making her embarrassed. Cloud Retainer embarrassing stories. Counter number 1. Boom.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and every story. Why don't you continue your conversation? One shall simply stand by and listen.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything, please just come find me at Yue High Pavilion.
I wonder when this happens on the
Also,
timeline.
Forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
Xianyun.
A human name? Huh, you raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown,
Oh, so she doesn't...
Cloud Retainer
she
is
hasn't
surely
made
too
one
recognizable
yet.
as a name. Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be
Yes.
sure to refer to one as Xianyun.
She came up with that on the spot. I still can't, like, take it away from my head that Xianyun, if it's Xianyun, it translates to salty cloud. If I'm imagining it, so it's kind of funny. Salty cloud, yeah. Because the first bit, Xian in Chinese, is, if pronounced in that particular way, just means salty. And then Yun means cloud.
I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature. Those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue, left with no choice. Many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today. The books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens. Drought and plague were both driven away, and the people were saved.
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely what one ought. And even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you.
Kind of like Guoba in his prime then.
That is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe?
Right. Speaking of Shenhe, what kind of job does she have? Better not be like the one I least expect. Has to be something related to like her strength, right? Don't tell me she's working part-time in Wanmin restaurant or something. Jesus Christ.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shanling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
No fucking... No. No. I did not just call that. I was joking. You serious? Shenhe Wanmin restaurants? I know Ganyu means well, but come on. Oh god, okay. Alright. I'm worried. She's gonna like... I don't think she's gonna be too experienced in the kitchen. Godog is a go. Not as powerful as like Murder of Birds or something. My premonition isn't that strong. I can just imagine if she's helping out in the kitchen, what if she like underestimates her strength and cuts through the whole kitchen table with the cleaver?
It is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon.
No.
One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how Shenhe is doing. One shall see to this matter on one's own.
Don't stay up too
There will be
late.
many an occasion to dine together in the future.
Don't stay up
One
too
is
late.
certain the opportunity shall present itself most readily.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See ya.
See you around, Ganyu! Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Too slow.
Oh my god. She's really
You know
there.
what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, eh?
She is fine, alright.
I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes.
Oh my
hey,
goodness.
how about you ask her?
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
Oh my god, are they gonna fight over her number?
What would you like to order?
2 servings of Mora meat to go. Oh, good chat. Bye.
Smart chap. He sensed the aura. You know, I was kind of hoping she'd be in like a... she'd wear like an apron or something with like a chef outfit. Master Chef Miss Shen.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
You.
Just as riskless as the guys who came before him.
It's been a while, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. Master?
Yes.
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
You...
Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
My dear pupil, how I've trained you so well.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So, I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends. I'll let you know if things pick up.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Yeah.
I wonder where Xiangling's run off to this time. If you bump into her, please let her know that a new shipment of spices has come in. So it'd be nice if she could come home and take a look.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far.
Yeah. She's dealing
I
with it.
sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Stare daggers into their eyes, you know. You dare overstep your mortal authority?
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence.
Jesus Christ! Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Aocang has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Oh, just as expected of Master.
What she means to say is, she actually misses the two of you a lot.
I have missed Master quite a bit too, even though work has been busy lately. I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
You see how big her eyes went? Really?
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Ooh, how the turns have tabled.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest. It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Huh?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch.
Have you been lonely, Master?
She has.
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights.
But you are, though.
Most forms.
Oh, back to work?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
I'll try my best.
As more and more guests begin to trickle in, Paimon takes the opportunity to order a whole array of delicious dishes.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
Can you eat this kind of food, Cloud Retainer?
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machines.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Oh.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
They're not using like the actual old person player model for that.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around.
Yeah, we have 2 free seats.
Excuse me, would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so... Well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
I don't mind either, as long as you don't mind our chatter.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuandai. Granny? Yep. Is there something wrong with that? No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
I thought that was weird.
Yeah, a lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears.
That's why it's this model. Retainer did once show up in her human form for a period of time, and she's old. Was Yuandai around when she was a human?
Granny, why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Does she remember?
Oh, have we met before?
No.
'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Earthworms?
Need any help?
Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time.
I was gonna say.
She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing.
Braised
Actually,
earthworms.
her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
What about your parents?
They died young. It's just me and Granny now.
Aw.
But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid.
I mean, it's only her and her grandma, right? She'd kind of have to be tough.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait, what was that really important thing again? Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me. She told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Is that a dream or a memory?
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
Did seeing Xianyun jog her memory?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again.
So you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Does that mean you're possessed?
No.
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
Almost let it slip there.
Do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now. My younger self.
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave the situation to me.
Are you sure? So, what are your names?
Paimon's Paimon.
I'm Goldine.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, what exactly can we do to help out this Granny? All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain streams.
I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
Oh, Xingqiu knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's
Oh, go see Xingqiu.
The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuandai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Madam Ping. That's
Let
the
us
business
meet at
you
Yujing
said
Terrace once you are ready.
you're gonna take care of.
Where are you going, Granny? Don't you like the food?
Fresh milk. I need to buy you some fresh milk.
Milk? Why?
You need to drink milk before eating, or the spicy food will make you cry. Hush, little one. Don't cry.
Granny, you're forgetting things again. I'm not a little baby anymore. I can eat spicy food now. Even the super spicy dishes, like their fish stew. I can eat 2 whole bowls, no problem.
She's looked after her for a long while. Hey.
It's you two.
Hello.
What brings you here?
Explain the situation to Xingqiu.
I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits in bandit camps.
That's
The
not
people idolized her,
her.
but never learned her name. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuandai. I hope that's somewhat
But-
helpful.
The flood wasn't.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking to you. Xingqiu, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Xingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her.
Thanks so much, Xingqiu.
You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuandai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Well, truth is stranger than fiction.
There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
They used to be, but people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or digging canals.
And that giant landmark in Chenyu Vale.
The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well. And that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. As terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times.
Yeah, you can't compare a flood to the cataclysm.
Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
Interesting.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh. Ah, is that like one of those music discs?
Oh, thank you. Straight word, Ping. What has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Aocang. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden?
Wait, so
I must
which is
say,
the business
you're
she
making me a
wanted?
little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor? Not unlike the one that you yourself lead.
Oh, so she hasn't bought the place yet.
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Xingqiu has a theory, but let's save it for when Shuyu and Miss Yuandai have joined up with us again.
Shuyu and Yuandai soon arrive at the scene. Paimon relays Xingqiu's theory.
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Thank you so much.
What do you think, Shuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Seems like these stories were on the right track. We should probably pay a visit to the 3 places mentioned in the books.
I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
There's 3 elderly people around now.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
You can taste the sweetness of the dew?
It's just a feeling. The sensation of stepping out into the mountains on a cool morning, gazing upon the small droplets of water hanging from the leaves, and feeling the sweet stream of water soothe a parched throat with every swallow. It's a sense of calm and serenity, one that stretches on and on until days become weeks, weeks become years.
What's wrong, Shuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant. But are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Well, not everyone, just one person.
Oh! About that.
You guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Xianyun call herself an adeptus.
Is one not an adeptus?
No, that's her slip up.
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Keep that a secret, though. You don't sound surprised at all.
Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane.
Well, yeah, that's her.
I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone.
Aww, that's nice of you, Cloud Retainer.
I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an adeptus like that?
Pure white illuminated crane? The only 2 we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. You ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Is it not you?
Yes, but actually no.
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes, the fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window. Which room was it again? Let me look.
I'll come with.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but If she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait, huh?
Good.
Xiao, what are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Xiao? I didn't expect him to show up.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look.
I think they're learning from the Fontaine story quests. Like, as in having more playable characters show up. We don't usually get this many.
If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. No? It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
You've met her in this form before?
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Oh.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Like what?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
Not them making a whole little cutscene for Paimon's imagination, oh my god.
An impressive imitation. Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe.
Yeah?
You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics.
Adepti sigils.
The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
Is that what she was talking about with Madame Ping? The green thing on the table?
If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Aocang, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don her human form. I believe it was for the purpose of...
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Back then, at this place,
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
I mean, you'd show up anyways if I say your name, right? See ya.
Everyone, I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness. I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me, and there was no cure for it. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
So the dementia you're suffering from now is actually...
Are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check?
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
North of Xianyun Karst. Okay, 3 houses. Okay, we'll go for the one at the top there. No? What about this place? Any memories?
I don't remember this place at all. I don't think I've ever been here before.
My bad. Bad guess.
Not here then. Let's try somewhere else.
No?
Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place... it's
the right place?
I remember.
Okay.
Shuyu, this is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit.
What?
I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out.
I remember this line from the trailer.
Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy. It was the first time I'd ever felt such happiness in my life.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu. You're so much like him, and I love you both so much. But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right, let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
This is definitely going in another sad direction, isn't it? You veil for the story quest.
We're finally here.
Let me see. How strange. Have I lived here before? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
That's where Cloud Retainer stays.
Isn't that Mount Aocang? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Aocang. Mount Aocang.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Aocang, what am I really?
Mount Aocang holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but I can't go back.
Why?
My head, it feels all heavy and dizzy.
Whoa.
What is wrong with me?
Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Aocang.
But...
Fret not. All will be well.
Maybe she has some sort of...
Yuandai, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor.
Adepti stuff to help her with.
You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Aocang.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Well, thank you, Windkern. Ow.
Come on, just tell Paimon already.
It's afternoon again.
Prepared.
What about this place that jogs your memory?
Here, this is it.
This?
But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it another invention of yours?
Precisely.
Right.
A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium mechanism.
What does it do?
It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state. Soothing agitation and anxiety,
instead of a music
relieving
box,
exhaustion and insomnia, its
a wind
potential
box.
uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories. As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler.
Yeah.
Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
I was gonna say, that's the disc. So, okay, so it is still a music box. Music player.
Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather.
What a nice
It's as if
tune,
she's lying
too.
down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
And you, Yuandai, is the mechanism helping you to relax?
Any good?
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
Oh.
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no.
Oh.
Have you forgotten?
That's a beautiful shot.
This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
Then she's an Adeptus. The white crane that carried Shuyu.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar. Granny!
I think she's just remembered everything.
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned?
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember everything. Everything. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions. Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake, one for which I could never atone. I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane.
Wow, that's smart. I like how they coded it like that.
I spent many, many years living on Mount Aocang, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by until that fateful day 50 years ago.
During the drought that struck Liyue.
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me.
Oh, that's what she meant by potion.
She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time,
hence,
I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor adeptus.
So that was the source of your dementia all along.
But you never turned back into a crane.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed. I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him, but my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash, yet I did not want to leave his side, so I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode.
Well-timed music, too. They might have programmed it that way, actually.
I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
So that's why the nameless heroine hid herself away.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time.
Is that?
If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
A merchant. It was her, wasn't it?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No, it couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
It definitely was then.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
Oh.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive
was myself. You knew where I was all along.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling, you possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take. Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Oh. Where? I'm nowhere.
One was furious upon receiving your letter, seized with anger.
Okay, then I'm running.
One set out to bring you to your senses.
Yar. Oh, this place is really pretty. And a custom OST too. Wangshu Inn.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better.
That's not what she cared for, though.
But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies. Glaring though they may have been, wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness.
Your own blood.
As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself.
You snagged yourself a fake mustache.
One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
This setting they made just to recount the memory is... it's superb. What next? They made that gap just for the skill, didn't they?
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember.
That's why they were
To think
chased.
that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
Jeez. The house. Protected by adeptal sigils. Alright. Hey, ciao.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
Oh god. I love the music.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait. But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Ah, pure white store. Wait.
Just as Yuandai troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe.
She didn't give herself makeup, did she?
One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring.
Her using the feathers to...
It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuandai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognize the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one.
So there's the 3 memories.
Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, Yuandai. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin Restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience. Have you any inquiries? inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Aocang by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return.
Thank you.
There's still a place for her.
Thank you so much.
Yuandai, one expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She'll turn back into...
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Is there no other way?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me.
Then what about...
I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny, please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Unless Cloud Retainer's gonna take her in.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. I'm guessing that's gonna be what she's gonna do. She can't just leave Shuyu. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong.
Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
That's still cruel though. She has to lose everyone. I know Yuandai won't be like gone, but still.
Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Aocang. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Aw, she's
Good.
She's slightly tearing up too.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
I mean, even Lumine looked pissed just now. Really? Oh. Jeez, just like that.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
Here's the cutscene. At least that'll calm her a little. Yeah. Oh, did we take a nap already? Oh, she's already back? Or is this just... Oh shit.
I always
Aether.
believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me.
This is where it came from.
If only things could stay this way forever.
That's why she cries.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up.
I mean, after so long, I'm surprised she hasn't dreamt
Eloquent as
about
one
him
may
more.
be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
Fuck you, Paimon. I got a little watery-eyed from that, actually. Shit, hold on. What the hell? I didn't expect that at the very end. Yeah, it was just suddenly about us. For that brief moment. Paimon, you killed the mood. Damn it, that's... I almost cried. Oh, that was good though.
Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now?
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel?
I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Oh. You should make a counter of all the times Paimon has ruined the mood. Oh boy.
And have you reasons for this sudden interest?
Where's she to go?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuandai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean, Master.
Shuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like Xingqiu and violet grass.
Really? Right in front of her?
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant. Although Mount Aocang is rich in natural beauty,
nothing
its
ever satisfies your
does
stomach.
preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shuyu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
That's why she was asking about rent prices.
All of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai. They all chose a life among the mortal world. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter. Perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure.
You're gonna make me wait
Preparation
2
is the
days
key to
again?
Success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor.
Isn't that gonna be like a big giveaway?
Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
Why do they love making me turn the clock 2 times?
Also, why don't you take this suspense somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, You may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer! So, about your move to Liyue Harbor, you gonna tell the other Adepti about it?
Not those old fossils.
I have left an explanatory note in my abode. Those two old fossils will discover it, I am sure, should they come seeking my company.
Hello.
We meet again, dear friends. How did everything go?
Great! And it's all thanks to you!
You quickly go over the whole story with Xingqiu.
Ah, I see. So the stories didn't get it right after all. Even though she was a celebrated heroine, she had to bear a heavy burden that most could not hope to understand. Thank goodness for the help of that Adeptus. At least she was able to recover what she had lost. Although I cannot claim to know exactly how their story will unfold from here, I trust the ending will be a happy one. Those united in a common purpose always find a way back to each other in the end. Thank you for helping me fill in the gaps. And don't worry, I'll keep this all to myself. It's not my story to tell, after all.
Alright, 2 days, baby.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
I take it she's not doing a good job at selling them.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life.
They're priceless.
We're here, Cloud. Miss Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares.
Ignoramus? That's a word?
Ignoramus.
Apparently it is.
I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Okay.
Several hundred years?
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes.
3 chests worth of them? No wonder this guy's shook.
Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello.
Shuyu! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you.
Master made it for me. I like it too. Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could not look yet, Master? Yeah, that'd be great.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child.
The expert.
Now, this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is! Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhang Li, a well-respected consultant at Wangshu Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques.
So yeah. Rex Lapis didn't even put a trust fund for his friends. A lot of key people in the are broke AF. The Adeptis and the Archons have it tough.
Mr. Zhang Li, this is Miss Xianyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Ah, if it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most
Oh
serendipitous.
my god, this is awkward.
Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Mm-hmm, for a couple 100 years, yeah, nothing, no big deal.
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again.
Jesus.
If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Xianyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
They can improvise.
Why? You flatter me, Miss
Paimon's
Xianyun.
fucking face,
It
bro.
would seem
You two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
Alright.
A preposterous accusation!
Oh my goodness.
The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Xianyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in
These
this
are legit,
instance,
okay, that's
this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
It's not that deep.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Xianyun, wait! I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
Oh, jeez.
Then, in that case, Miss Xianyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
My friends, have you been doing well?
Good now that you're here.
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Xianyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Xianyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered consommé.
Paimon's happy.
We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Thank you so much, Cloud Retainer.
Shuyu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
A humble employee of Wangshu Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhengli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' Temptation?
I have
I heard
1,000 of
it's
those.
impossible to...
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
And it's gonna end. Yeah, okay. There we go. Nice. That was really cool. Really nice story too. Unsigned letter. What seems like a book of accounts, a letter can also be found inside. Little you, my dear daughter, by the time you read this, Mommy and Daddy will have left to go on a long journey. Your granny may get a little forgetful sometimes, so try to jot down little reminders for her around the house whenever you can. Mommy and Daddy are counting on you to take care of Granny while we're gone. You might be wondering why Mommy and Daddy will have to leave. Well, my dear daughter, in this world, everyone's got something that they just have to do. Mommy and Daddy are no different. Did you know Daddy was actually awfully sick as a child? How sick, you might ask? Well, even the doctor could barely feel Daddy's pulse. It was that weak. But Daddy still managed to grow up. Looking back, there were many times when Daddy thought he might not make it. In the end, though, Daddy pushed through every time. Pretty amazing if you think about it. Maybe Daddy's just really lucky, or who knows, maybe he has some super powerful adeptus looking out for him. Either way, Daddy has always felt like he's received a lot of love from this world. And you know what? Daddy loves this world back. They told Daddy that this mission would be super dangerous, but both Mom and Daddy decided to sign up. You have grown quite a bit taller the next time Mom and Daddy see you again. Maybe you'll be so big by then that Mom and Daddy won't even recognize you. How about this? Let us use a code. Do you still remember that one phrase Daddy taught you when you were little? That can be our secret code next time we see each other. That way we'll recognize each other no matter what. You remember it, don't you? While the Millelith stands guard, evil shall never prevail. What a nice story. You know what? I really like this one. That last bit, I have to say, really didn't expect that one. Like, the whole thing had a nice pacing, but the cutscene surprised me quite a bit. How we as the traveler ended up dreaming about, you know, our other twin that we haven't seen since Daneslave's like first quest. Like I said, I'm surprised they haven't dreamt of them more. So yeah, Xianyun's now living in Liyue Harbor, taking on a new disciple, that is Shuyu, and probably gonna stay there for, well, a long while. That means she'll probably show up in Lantern Rite as well. She's a great adepti. We just have to wait for the rest of the existing Adepti crew to follow suit with their human forms. But yeah, hey, thank you everyone on YouTube for watching until now for the playthrough. You guys had a great time. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode and stream. Have a great weekend, guys. See ya.